What's cracking, guys? Omar Isov here with Mark Bell of Super Training, and we're talking today about steroids. You know, a lot of people in the comment section, they've been asking, they're like, what? We can do it higher. They're wondering, you know, about steroids because you are in Bigger, Stronger, Faster. You've been open about your use, unlike a lot of people out there, half natties. People respect you for it, but people have been pestering me either on the Facebook page or whatnot on my YouTube comment section to talk about it. So maybe I thought today I'd just ask a couple questions. If you're comfortable answering them, awesome, let's do it. I kind of want to talk, because we've been talking a little bit, maybe about the downside of steroids. And I mean, you really see a lot of people only touting the benefits of steroids, right? Like being open about, not going to name names, but you've seen on YouTube, like, oh, it gets you stronger, gets you bigger, and whatnot. From your
gets you leaner,
gets you leaner. There's no negatives, right? So for those like considering that are on the fence and whatnot, you actually a lot of times these days talk people out of taking steroids, which is kind of a crazy thing. Like, you're known for being someone that uses steroids, but you tell most people that approach you not to use.
Right.
So Mark, talk me through this. Like, what are some of the downsides?
Well, hopefully a lot of people have seen Bigger, Stronger, Faster, and hopefully they can, they have learned, hopefully they've learned a lot about steroids through that film. I thought my brother did a great job with it. And a lot of the opinions I have in Bigger, Stronger, Faster still stand today. But basically, the way I like to look at it is that it's a drug, and it is something that has to be taken seriously. You can't just haphazardly, it wouldn't be a good idea to haphazardly take any drug.
Sure. Some
sort of research, some decisions need to go into the use of that drug. And with a steroid, while there can be positive effects to it, I always kind of just say there's no side effects, there's just effects.
Right.
And some good, some bad.
Sure.
But you have to kind of weigh out those effects and how they fit your lifestyle. I would say anybody who, Bigger, Stronger, Faster, we reference, if you're an asshole and you take steroids, you're going to be a bigger asshole.
Sure.
Anyone who has any sort of emotional problems, anyone who has any mental health issues of any kind, and mental health issues are, it could just cause a huge problem.
Sure.
The chemical imbalances that you already have are going to be magnified.
Right.
And it could be a real recipe for disaster.
Okay.
So those are all things to consider. Whether or not roid rage really exists is for somebody to research other than myself.
Sure.
Somebody to do actual real tests on. But I would just say, like, if you're somebody who is going to be uptight, and you're someone who's going to be, living, being just very aggressive.
Yeah.
Odds are it probably make you more aggressive.
Sure. Now, Mark, from your own personal experience, or maybe people that you know, what are some of the other downsides? And what are some things that either you've experienced or other people that you know when taking steroids?
Going bald is one of them. If you're somebody...
How do you have all your hair, dude?
Yeah, I don't know.
How do you have all your hair still?
I can just grow it out.
Like a hedgehog.
I can have some nice flowing locks like yourself.
Hey.
If I want.
Sorry, you're saying Mark.
But it has different impact on different people.
Okay.
Bitch tits. You may have heard about bitch tits. How wonderful are those?
Yeah.
You can get, gynecomastia is called, and you can kind of form lumps underneath your nipples, basically, and kind of form girl-like boobies, which is sort of cool in a way, actually.
What?
Maybe that's a positive side effect. Growing your own pair of tits.
No, Mark.
Then you don't need to talk to females.
You can just talk to yourself.
Talk to the hands?
Yeah.
Let's see. For females, their voice will change. There's always the acne thing, hair.
Yeah.
Before I ever touched anything, I was pretty much completely hairless. I had no hair on my arms. Facial hair was pretty much none. I didn't even have to really shave. I'm not like an orangutan nowadays or anything, but I do need to use a man groomer. Get the back. If you're somebody that's looking to have a family, it's definitely something to really look into, because my experience was fine. I was able to, get bigger, stronger, faster. I talk about having kids, and I was able to have another child. But I have some friends that had trouble with that. They had to actually just adopt. So that's a life changer. That's a huge decision. That's a huge thing. If you're somebody that really wants children, then that should be a really large consideration. Impotence.
Yeah.
No one wants to talk about having a limp dick, but
yeah.
it can happen. Your testosterone levels, get raised when you take testosterone, without getting too complex or too complicated, or too scientific about the whole thing, because I don't even know a ton about all the different mechanisms that go on. But your testosterone levels elevate, and so do your estrogen levels, which is female characteristics. Thus, hence the bitch tits, and hence the limp cack.
Right.
The wet noodle.
The wet noodle.
And so those are all things that that you have to take into consideration. If you have a poor diet, if you're not in tune with your health, and you're not getting enough sleep, you're not properly hydrated, and all those different things, you can start to develop sleep apnea because you're getting larger, high blood pressure, heart disease. I mean, a lot of things. I know some people will be like, heart disease, steroids aren't going to give you a heart attack. They may not directly give you a heart attack, but they certainly won't help with the health of your heart.
Sure.
Let's just put it that way.
Mark, have you ever had any personal scares when it comes to anything medical, or no?
Just with the only thing that I've ever had an issue with is just the actual injections.
You're saying?
Yeah, you can get abscesses basically, which is an infection.
Sure.
And that could cause huge problems. So, sometimes somebody will inject into a certain area, and it will get so bad and so inflamed that they'll have to go to a doctor. They'll have to get antibiotics. The doctor will basically draw a circle around the area that is affected. I know a lot of this probably blowing some of your minds.
Yeah.
What the fuck? This is a lot to get into.
Yeah.
But it is what people are into.
Yeah. Knowing the full details too, because a lot of people they're kind of, Mark. I see this also a lot on YouTube. There's a lot of naive guys, right? They want to look. They basically just want to look for good for the bees, look good for bitches, and they're like, man, I'm gonna hop on a cycle.
Right.
And so in making this is like kind of highlighting some of the downsides that are not often talked about. It's kind of just on forums, right? Individual between people, and it's
definitely not. It's just not something to play around with.
Yeah.
It's not something to take lightly.
Yeah.
You should definitely look into it further. And if you have a significant other, if you have a wife, or you have a girlfriend or fiance, or somebody that you've been with for a long time, that's a topic that should come up with them as well. And obviously, if you're a kid, you have no business taking it whatsoever. I don't think there's any point even. I don't think. It's not that it won't make you stronger and have similar effects to what it would do to an adult, but you haven't really done anything yet yourself.
Sure.
Prove to yourself that you can be consistent, and that you can have some good, solid work ethic, and prove to yourself that you can gain strength and gain size and stuff without anything, coming in from the outside. And you can worry about that shit later on when your life gets more complicated. Hopefully that helps people make a little bit better decision, and hopefully that helps educate people. Again, if you haven't seen Bigger, Stronger, Faster, it's easy to get a hold of. You can check it out on YouTube, I think on Netflix as well. It's a good reference point and a good educational piece.
Awesome, Mark. Thank you for being on the video. If you like the video, make sure to like the damn video, and I'll be seeing all you guys, my rascals, in that next video. Peace!